And now it is a distinct honor and my great pleasure to introduce the student speaker for the 2022 Biochemistry and Biology Convocation program, Mr. Shrey Thaker. Shrey is a graduating biochemistry senior who you've already seen today, who was selected as the student speaker for today's event by a panel of students. Please help me welcome him.
Good morning. Thank you to the department for the opportunity to reflect on the last few years with you all. And thank you to my fellow graduates, our supportive friends, and our beautiful families. It must have been the 11th boulder. We started off in the shortcut through the woods near Javits, made our way around Roth Pond and up through Tabler. 5 minutes into the whole enterprise, the rain would sneak up and join us. Now at times, and I'm sure you felt this, either at 2 a.m. or when a weed out class's workload tips right over that fine tightrope of sanity we all walk, where you seriously, existentially question, what am I doing, and did I make a mistake in my choice? Trust me, 44 minutes of shivering rain and only 4 isopods to bring back to our biolab TA. The three of us stood up and silently asked, what are we doing? Apart from acting as instruments in a campaign of genetic drift imposed upon the campus isopod population, we, just like all the other biolab students, were showing our willingness to go that extra mile. Particularly over the last 2 years, we have all had to go that extra mile and every mile in between. COVID-19 forcibly parachuted us to the foot of a mountain without respite or retreat. And along our ascent, we lost national inspirations, protested for America's diversity, observed violence both here and abroad, and witnessed as the words we read in our textbooks became the difference between life and death. Within this chaos, Stony Brook's own testing and vaccination efforts saw swarms of students volunteering as campus life barreled through an online adaptive radiation. For the last 2 years, after each respondus exam, we'd turn off our screens and gaze into the black mirror behind which our college experience was now trapped. In the past few months, thanks to the agile efforts of the department, faculty, professors, families, and students, we have shattered through it and found awaiting us on the other side a teeming ocean ready to flood our parched reservoirs of connection. No matter which intro bio class or lab it was, we'd start off each semester rushing to the syllabus to calculate how many clicker questions we can get wrong, how many exams or finals fell on the same day, writing classy evals that were sometimes longer than our discussion boards. 3 to 4 exams later, we'd start thinking of time in the units of weeks rather than hours or days. As mesmerizing and essential as it was to dive into how many NADH and acetyl-CoAs were produced by 1 mole of pyruvate oxidation, it's one of each, by the way, one of the most important lessons wasn't delivered through any lecture. With deadlines looming, every time I heard, what if I just hand it in like this? Or why don't I just stop caring? Glowing sentiments of, hey, I faced that problem before, this is how I did it. Or why don't we work on it together? Would echo back. The mania of orgo exams was only bearable when huddled in the chem lobby, seeing that no one else really knew if the answer was dashed or wedged either. But nonetheless, we stuck through it while leaning on each other. What seemed like an insurmountable 15 weeks passed by, trekking together through dense class material, lit only by flickers of excitement in the form of campus events, Wolfielands, Eureka Symposia, banquets and talent showcases, clubs, and friends. We'd raced right up to the edge of the semester, and what came with it was a sense of relief for the upcoming break. We'd say our goodbyes and promise to stay in touch, knowing that really only a few short weeks separated us from rinsing and repeating the grind. But it's different this time, isn't it? In some of our families, the last 4 years were an expected step in a long journey. And in some others, it was the chance to break through a ceiling. Every single person listening has had their own challenges. Every individual, an entire life, adding the chapter of Stony Brook biology or biochemistry to their story. From the lab rats to the dazzling dancers, from the cultural connoisseurs to the video gamers, from the artists to the vibrant voices, as we stand upon the ceaseless shoulders of our predecessors, the memories and connections we have forged and felt while overcoming necessary obstacles endure far beyond our time here. We go forth, therefore, not with a promise of our return, but with a promise that we will forever kindle and cherish our shared innocent wonder of life. Each of us is special because we got to experience it, try to understand it, and connect to other lives through it. Diving headlong into its smallest components, our mosaic of life's larger picture enriches at an atomic resolution. Underneath our fascinating differences lies a 4-letter code whose improbable, spontaneous evolution has not been witnessed elsewhere. And yet, as Alan Watts describes, we have become living, breathing lenses through which the universe observes itself. Countless can you hear me's and can you see my screens later. You can't count me as one of the haters. For you see, the longest time in memory, my deepest wonder plunged into a cell's biochemistry. You and me have begun a jaw-dropping journey, seeking illuminating intimacy with mind-numbingly incredible cellular intricacy. But it was not the 40-hour, nicely formatted lab reports, nor the isopod hunting sports that pushed us forward and to rejoice, but it was the willingness of our choice. To be courageous and to lose our minds inside life itself, leaving our pride on the shelf. We found our curiosity, sparked years ago by the cell's powerhouse ATP factory, shared in others with blinding luminosity. Our backgrounds may be idiosyncratic, and the world has definitely been frantic, and it was beautiful to see us not panic. Well, maybe when we took organic. The path we have started on is titanic, electrifying us like we're galvanic. And I see individuals in this panoramic who have shared more than dorm dimensions, who have shared more than club elections and class sections, who have shared more than midterms and earthworm dissections, but who have shared connections. And it is from this matrix where we look up and see, from cellular pathways to human anatomy, from each other to every brilliant professor, I think we have a responsibility to be kinder to one another. And here's to the hope that we may wield our pens, set new scientific trends, and appreciate through the biological lens the wonderful world upon which our time is spent. Congratulations to the graduating Stony Brook Biology and Biochemistry class of 2022.
Thank you, Shrey.